Moving forward to some of the older students. Okay, so we're looking at a little bit more critical thinking skills at this point, a little bit more evaluative. So I'm going to drop again two links, and I hope they work. The first, these are both from the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, and I would just say like there's a lot of really good lessons out there. I happen to really love CFPB, but there are a lot of good resources out there. These are both on using buying plans or budgets. So we have set criteria that we need to meet with this purchase. How do we best meet this criteria? The top is about Cameron, who needs to buy a new computer. I love that one of his options is pre-owned. I don't know if you can see that, a pre-owned gaming computer. I think that's super relevant. Moving forward, I think secondhand is losing some of the stigma that it has been attached to and previously. And we're seeing a lot of it kind of come up in fashion and home ways that, we're just accessing the secondhand market a little bit more readily than we used to. So I think that's a great thing to encourage with our kids. Using a budget to shop for a party. We're making choices about this imaginary party and the food. What I do like about this one is that the healthier choices are less expensive and the what could be considered traditionally unhealthy choices are a little bit more. So there's a kind of a need, want, push, pull that we can talk about with this lesson as well. So all of these come within, they're great for whole group, or it could be done individually or paired. I think all of these are quality. And I'm going to highlight three more here because, like I said, we have so many that we really love. So these three are all from the Minnesota Council on Economic Education. I mentioned them earlier from their math and economics curriculum. So you will see some of those math learning objectives. Again, we love it. What I really like about the birthday party budget, which is a first grade lesson, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a first grade teacher and you can get your first graders to do this lesson, email me because I need to come see your classroom. I think that would be remarkable. As a whole group lesson, I definitely think you could do it. I would adapt this. I would also mention briefly, these are all in Google Docs. That's one thing I do like about NCEE, and they encourage you to make it your own. So moving from whole numbers to decimals or vice versa to simplify or scaffold for your students is completely possible with these lessons. All of them are using that PACE decision-making grid. So really reinforcing that we can go through steps to identify our criteria and then make a decision based on those. In some of them, the students have choices over what criteria, and in some of these lessons, the criteria is established. I think it's important to give practice in both. The birthday party budget, this is for the entire classroom for every student. Again, there's that need, want, push, pull. Water is free. Juice or soda is going to cost us $20. So what's our opportunity cost between what we're drinking and are we willing to give it up? The service group choices, this middle lesson is about a class that is donating hours of their time to improving their schoolyard. How are they going to allocate that valuable human resource of time? So again, connecting to what we're talking about, this doesn't all have to be currency based. Talks about scarcity of time. Scarcity is a fantastic concept to be bringing up with our students. We cannot have everything we need. And it's important that we are able to make decisions when there is scarcity to make the smartest decisions to allocate those resources. I think allocate is my word of the day. And then a day at the amusement park. My math heart beats a little faster at this one because not only is there scarcity, we only have 6 tickets to spend at this amusement park, which I think is realistic and which you and I know would already cost like $100, but still scarcity. And then not only are they deciding how to spend their tickets, but they're mathematically looking at all the different possible combinations for these 4 activities with 6 tickets. So there's amazing algebraic thinking and mathematical practices thinking happening there as well. You're taking them through the process of evaluating their choices and options while you're combining it with math. I swoon. Okay, so these are our decision-making lessons. Hopefully if there's one that you find particularly interesting, I'd love for you to drop that in the chat, or if there's anything that you think you would want to use or have access to, please let us know. Again, all of this is going to be coming out by, I believe Linda said Monday. But if there's something you feel like you want to have right away, let us know and we'll make sure you get it. And now we're to my favorite part. Yay! Okay, so this is our last strategy. Again, if you have any questions about the three or the two kind of strategies or resources that we've gone through before, please let us know. But for now, we're going to talk about a real labor of love, project of my heart. This is our FEP Financial Education Library, and we're going to talk about teaching personal finance and economics through children's books. This is, again, I'm so proud of this collection. This is our curated collection of 30 titles that all have personal finance or economic themes. We made a real effort to demonstrate diversity in our protagonists, in the authors, in the cultures that we're representing here. We wanted all students to be able to see themselves in this library in some way. We cover, like I said, economics all the way to, concrete personal finance. Like literally there's one called Save It. We also make sure to grab titles that really resonated within that social emotional development and learning space. So titles where you could dig into how the character's feeling, why they made the decisions that they did, and what the impact of those decisions or opportunity cost was. We also wanted to make sure that we're ensuring accessibility, right? Because if you don't have the book, how can you be expected to teach the lesson? So each of these books comes with a free online read aloud link. It's all YouTube, right? But we have linked to reviewed read alouds that you can use on your projector in order to show the book, perhaps as a brain break. No physical copy required for your students to listen, have a story time, and be able to learn from the story as well. We also have celebration month collections. We were kind of talking, you don't always have to talk about giving at the holidays. You clearly don't always have to talk about Black history during February, but when those months come around, if you have the time and space to devote to them, we are putting these collections out that have these books that connect to these celebration months and also to the personal finance and economic side of it. So we did Women's History Month and Earth Month as well. I love that collection. I think it's really fun. So the next thing, Milady's going to talk about our bilingual bookshelves because we also have those.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things I like to say, you have to reach them to teach them. And these are books that can reach all your diverse learners. These are books that all students can relate to, no matter what economic background or their culture. These are really inclusive, again, equitably translated, of course. We keep that in mind. They all, as Amy mentioned, have that financial education component. And we have here we have in this collection people from different countries, people who are giving, people. We have a chair for my mother. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. Great for risk management, great for insurance. They cover such a wide array of topics. If you have students who are in a agriculturally based part of the state, we have a book for that. So we've made it make sure that we've included all different areas of the state and all different cultures and all things that students can relate to when we are talking about laying the foundation for finance and having those difficult conversations. I'm not going to lie, some of them, they really pull at your heartstrings. They really do. And that is, talked about in the books as it should be. Sometimes it's hard to not have the things that you want and having no control over it. So introducing or starting those conversations through children's literature can be soft and easy and can really lay the foundation for that to happen kind of organically and not forced. But please, yes, check those out. They are great resources. Again, those are also YouTube linked. So you don't need the physical book. You can access it through YouTube.
Absolutely. And I just want to mention as well that so these books, the English version, are all included in the original library. These are books that we specifically sought out because they had that equitably translated Spanish version. We do have physical copies of these in the office as well. So if you're in a dual language environment and this is a resource that you would be wanting, please let us know. Get in touch with us. We'll have our contact information. These are resources that we're happy to provide when we're able. And like I said, those Spanish read alouds are all heritage speakers. They are quality. We have reviewed them. You're not going to find any random Spanish language or palabrotas or anything like that. These are going to be quality readings. And we're going to go into the lesson and resource guides here in a second. But within this shelf, they all have at least one lesson that is available in both English and Spanish, the same lesson, equitably translated for both and useful in a dual language environment. And we also have parent guides in Spanish. If you're in a community where you're serving a lot of Spanish speaking parents, we do have a lot of resource guides that can help with that as well.